The question of the day is, could Sean P. Diddy Combs, Diddy, make a big comeback? I'm going to answer that question. Could Diddy make a big comeback? Well, we're about to get into some details about what Diddy has planned according to his attorneys, but I'm going to put it out there like this, right? The world has changed drastically. If Diddy was convicted of sex assault against children, minors, anything like that, he would never be able to come back from that. The world got to see that Diddy was a freaky ass dude. But guess what? This is not back in the days when people pretended they were not freaky and they ostracized those who were, right? Everybody nowadays is about freakiness. And the freakier you are, the better it is. Diddy is going to take the stage at some major event. Madison Square Garden, I don't know, somewhere. And he's going to be able to say, yeah, I was a little freaky, you know what I'm saying? And I got in a lot of trouble for it. They were trying to bring me down, but being a freak is not a criminal. It's not a criminal activity. Besides, I was being freaky with consenting adults. That was supposed to be left behind closed doors. I wasn't the one that put it out in the public. They did. Everybody else in the audience is going to be like, well, we freaky too. So let's get back to what you got going on. It's not going to be used against them in the way that people think that it is. You know what I'm saying? Honestly and truthfully, majority of people side with the jury. We trust the justice system enough to send it to 12 people who are selected as a jury to decide amongst themselves if they think he was guilty of trafficking these women and all the other stuff, RICO charges. And the answer came back already as no. So the next question is, okay, he's facing some years off of transportation to engage in. That charge right there, Diddy is the only person in the United States of America that is actually locked up for the charge that he is locked up for, which I've said before, the system lost against Diddy. He went up against them, or they went up against him, because he didn't provoke it. They tried to use that as a way to strip him of his wealth. It did not work. Next thing, they can't let him just walk away unblemished because it makes them look bad and it exposes their plot. So the judge is saying no to all these bail applications. They're going to slam him when it comes to the time for him to be sentenced. Let's see how that goes. Even if they let him go without giving him any more time at his sentencing, put him on probation, whatever the case may be, they still lost. And the world still sees it. It was a bullshit ass case that it was not worth going to the lengths and levels that domestic abuse at best case actually went to. So, according to New York Post, Sean Diddy Combs is plotting a major career comeback at Madison Square Garden after his prison release. I know Diddy already made up his mind to take some time. He's already been in there for quite some time. So he's probably like, well, they give me a couple more years because they want to fight me down that much. That's all good. Plus, we already know now that the big homie Trump is not really looking to pardon Diddy because him and Diddy used to be cool like that. And then, like he said in his own words, pardoning him is going to be challenging. It's proving to be a bit challenging. They asked him why. He said, because he turned against me. Me and him were cool. We were really cool. We were good people. But when I decided to run for the presidency, he turned against me, started talking real nasty about me and all that other stuff. So, of course, it's time for Trump to get his lick back, right? So given that, okay, what if Trump does not pardon Diddy and the judge sentences him and gives him a couple of years? He is still going to be a multi-millionaire at the higher level when he gets out. He still has many investments that are working for him, even some in companies that we know nothing about. So his money will always keep turning. Now, Sean Diddy Combs is gearing up for a major music comeback. and he landed on Madison Square Garden as his stage. That's where he wants to do it at. The Bad Boy Records founder was found guilty of 2 counts of prostitution, but was acquitted of all the other sex trafficking, racketeering, RICO charges, and he's already looking ahead to his future for his return to the rap scene, to the music. Mark Agnifilo, who has been the lead attorney, said that the 55-year-old Diddy, that's what's on his mind. A major comeback, a major concert. Mark said he's going to be back at Madison Square Garden. And I said, I'll be there, Agnifilo said in a segment that was aired on Thursday. I know a lot of people are like, he can't get back to no Madison Square Garden. A lot of people would like to see Diddy be buried. Not because he really did anything wrong, but because, he was so successful and he was so braggadocious about his success. And some people got stepped on along the way, But that's the American way, let's be honest. All these people you see at the top, they didn't make it to the top being nice people to everybody. Some relationships had to be severed. Some people had to be used. That's just the nature of the game. People use you use some people. You just got to be sure about or be careful about who's using you and who you're using. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, he played the game and he won at a high level. At this point, his attorney says, I think he wants to get out of jail and reestablish a loving, present relationship with all of his 7 children. That's the first thing that's on his mind. When asked if a musical comeback is on the horizon, Agnifilo, Diddy's attorney, admitted that while Diddy hasn't said anything about getting back into the recording studio, he did have other ideas in mind, though. He said, no, honestly, he has not. Okay? One thing he said that he was going to be back in Madison Square Garden. Duncan then clarified that Diddy could be doing what he would be doing at MSG, to which Agnifilo responded, I guess being on stage, I think he's awesome. Who's always going to strive to do something exceptional and probably demanding and challenging? Well, a lot of people are counting him out. But one thing I've learned about Diddy is he's a true fighter. And you better not count him out. He didn't get to where he got to by being a laid down, take it kind of guy, right? He's the type that get up and fight and be like, take that, take that, take that. I thought I told you that we won't stop, so there's no quitting in him. And I know he can't wait to get on a big-ass stage like Madison Square Garden and start off with, I thought I told you that we won't stop. Victorious will be the next one. Victorious. Now, this comes days after Diddy's legal team confirmed that they have approached the Trump administration about a pardon. See, before, it was like, did they approach Trump? Is Trump thinking about it? But now the team has come out and said they did approach the president for a pardon, even as the president has signaled that he's leaning against letting Diddy off the hook. They're still being optimistic about it. It's my understanding that we have reached out and we've had conversations in reference to the pardon, says Nicole Westmoreland, who is a member of Diddy's defense team, in an interview to CNN this week. President Trump on Friday told Newsmax host Rob Finnerty that he was on the fence about whether he should consider pardoning Diddy or not. The president said, well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent, Trump said, on the Diddy case. Probably. I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great and seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well, but when I ran for office, he was very hostile. It's hard to know, like we're human beings and we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office and he made some terrible statements. So I don't know. It's more difficult, the president said. So that's what it comes down to. Again, the question of the day is, do you think that Diddy will be back in the spotlight? A lot of people counted him out. A lot of people said he's done. He's not coming back. He can't beat this case. They said that before he beat the case. And now that he's beaten the case, they're still saying he beat the case, but he can't come back. Makes no sense. He beat that RICO case against the feds. Tells me everything I need to know. In order to defend yourself at this level where Diddy plays, that level is not for the weak. That level is not for the broke. That level is not for those without connections. He plays at high stakes. It's super serious up at that level. And most of us who are watching from the outside looking in, we don't even understand what it's like to exist at that level of the game. I'll just keep watching. But my prediction is he got this in the bag. Now let's see when October 3rd comes what the sentencing is going to be, and then we'll take it from there. But I'm predicting that if he says Madison Square Garden is the stage, Madison Square Garden it is. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. I'll catch you on the next video. It's BrainFLoTv. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.